Everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show.
And welcome back to my channel. So today, Troy and I are going show jumping. We're just gonna go and hire an arena and do some practice. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to do another vlog and take you along. So I brought Troy in this morning. He's looking alert. He's had a good, nice, fun time out in the field last night. I don't know if you can see. Definitely looks grubbier in real life than on the camera. So I'm gonna get him brushed off and then get him all loaded up onto the lorry because we're due to leave in about half an hour, so I do need to get a bit of a wiggle on. But I'm really excited to get him out jumping again. It'll be super fun. And yeah, I can't wait. Already, I'm early. I'm just putting a few bits in the lorry and checking that I've got everything, which I think I have, hopefully. And then we're good to go. Troy boy is, I'm hoping, super excited. He's done about 4 poos since we've got the lorry out. I always assume it's excitement, but hope it's not nerves. Bless him. Bless him, Troy is so excited to see the lorry. Look at that little face. Oh, boy. So we're just loading him up now. We have quite a steep driveway, so we just load him at the top, because we've only got a little lorry, and it's just easier for the lorry to load him up here. So Troy boy's looking super keen anyway, which is a good sign. So I'll catch up with you in a bit when we're there. You can see me because of the sun, but we are here. I am on board Troy and the show jumps. Look, don't know if you can see, I'll turn the camera around. Look lovely. Jackie M's over there going to put some up. Oh, I'm really excited. Look at these spooky fillers, Troy.
I got this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you, and there is nothing that can hold us back, hold us back. We can do what we want to do, 'cause we got all the time in the world. For better or worse, we should stay together. So let's stay young and in love. We should focus on us forever. Yeah, baby, if you are feeling like I do, we could run away across the ocean. Baby, what you say? We can leave today. Anywhere we'll go, we'll be alright. It's all about you.
Troy's all washed off and ready to get back in the lorry. He was really, really good. I was really pleased with him. We did a couple of courses. We came down here. We don't have a course at home, we don't have school at home, so we could have some course practice, see if we're ready to get back out eventing. And he was really good. Really good boy. He jumped so well for him actually, so well. He hardly touched a pole, which is so good. And he was just really good. I'm so pleased with him. So pleased with him. He's grumpy because he's eaten all his treats already. But yeah, really, really pleased with him. It's a really nice place actually. It's new to our area, which is fab. But really nice school, nice jumps. Troy boy loved it. So I'll definitely come back here again. And he was fab. So yeah, really pleased with him. And hopefully, I haven't looked at any of the videos yet, but hopefully we've got some good footage for you. So you can see us having a bit of a jump. Hey? Hey, should we get you back home then? Shall we? Good boy. Come on. Come on. In you get. Hey. Hey, gorgeous. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I will also we took him dressage training on Monday or Tuesday this week, so I have got a few video clips from that as well, so I'll add that in now. So I thought whilst you watch some of my schooling clips from the other day that I would do a bit of a voiceover for you so that I could just explain what I'm doing with Troy, how I felt that Troy went. And I do have quite a few clips of me schooling, so I thought it also might be quite interesting for you for me to explain what I'm doing with him and why I do these sort of exercises with Troy. So to start with, we did some simple spirals in and out on a circle, so coming in from a 20-metre circle down onto a smaller 5-10 metre circle. Warmed him up in trot with this to start with. I use this exercise with Troy to start off our schooling session because he can be quite lazy in the school to start with, and it's a really good exercise to get him listening to me, get him off my leg and listening to all of the aids. It's also really good for me because it gets me thinking. I have to use all of my aids for this exercise, so it's just really good to get us both going and both thinking about what we're doing. Troy also tends to fall in more on this rein, so this exercise, because you have to have your horse in your outside rein, is really good for helping me to get him, to stop him leaning on my inside rein, to stop him falling in and really get him in my outside aids. Another area that I'm trying to work on with Troy is to get him using his hindquarters more. He tends to power off with his front end a lot and doesn't really actually use his back end as he should. He's always a bit lazier with his back end and doesn't step up underneath him. And this exercise is really, really good for getting them to use their hindquarters and really step underneath themselves, especially in the canter when you're coming down onto that smaller circle, and in the trot, you know, whenever you're coming down onto that smaller circle, it just really gets them stepping up underneath themselves, which is what I'm really trying to aim with Troy, because he just doesn't do it. He just doesn't do it really very much. And from watching the video clips back so far, I can see he's already using his back end quite well. He's lifting up off that front end and really coming up into my hand, which is good. And he's also accepting the contact quite nicely and dropping into a nice light round frame. He's really bouncy, he's really using his hind quarters. So I'm really pleased with how he's going so far, and although, you know, we're not always picture perfect, it's looking promising from my point of view. In our tests, we do usually get, sometimes our comments are inconsistent contact, and he gets a bit nose pokey. So I'm really trying to work on getting him working through from behind into my hand, into a nice consistent contact. And I feel that this exercise really helps us to do that, and get us together before we then start to do a few more other things in our schooling sessions. So the right rein which I'm on now is Troy's better rein. He doesn't fall in at all on this rein. He tends to fall out slightly on this rein. He's just more balanced on this rein, and his quality of canter is better. He just finds it easier on this rein, so I do have to work more on the left rein to get the work better. So this is his better rein, and he is looking quite nice. I also did a bit of lengthening the canter on and bringing it back. I also feel that this also really helps to get him listening to me, get him listening to those aids, and then sitting back on his hindquarters when I recollect the canter. So that also really helps Troy and I. It also helps him if he's being a bit lazy, to get him a bit more forward thinking. Now we went back and I did the same exercise again on the left rein, just to try and improve what we did at the beginning. After he'd been on the right rein, Mum just wanted us to redo it on the left rein, just to see if we could get it a bit better now that he was a bit more warmed up and he was going a bit nicer. He looked really nicey when we did it again, and he felt a lot better, and I could bring him in on a nice small circle, and he was listening to my aids, and he felt really balanced, and his canter was quite good quality. And again, some lengthening and shortening of the canter, just to again help with all of that, help get his hind quarters underneath him. So after all that time on circles, we then went off and built up to a bit of lateral work, a bit of leg yielding. So I started by just going up and down the 3/4 lines a few times, making sure I was straight, making sure that Troy wasn't just automatically thinking we go down the 3/4 line or centre line and go sideways. So making sure that I had him in between my leg and hand still. And then we just did a few bits of leg yield on each rein, started in the trot. The leg yield is sometimes tricky for us. I find it a bit tricky, especially if he's being a bit lazy, just to do it properly, just to make sure that he's not crabbing sideways, make sure that he's moving across evenly and forward still at the same time, and making sure we're getting those crossovers with his legs. A lot of the time before I do my leg yield, I will put in a small 10-meter circle first, as I feel that just really helps set me up for riding a leg yield. So that's why you'll see quite a few circles. I think I did try to cut a few of them out so that it wasn't too many. But yeah, I do feel it really helps set us up for them. And I wanted to put all of the leg yields in because although it's quite a lot of footage, it shows the progression. They're not always perfect. Sometimes he crabs, sometimes he rushes across too much. I think it's if we're leg yielding to the left, sometimes he can rush too much, and if we're leg yielding to the right, he finds that harder. So sometimes we don't get across quick enough or evenly enough or in as nice a manner. That was just a serpentine loop there. That just helps with bending, suppleness. Serpentine loops are brilliant. But in this last part of the session, we did mainly focus on some leg yielding. Here we're now starting to do leg yield in the canter. And again, this just really gets his legs stepping up underneath him, especially in the canter. As with the trot, he finds it easier to move across to the left and harder to move across to the right. I also did a bit of canter work with him, just a little bit, just once on each rein. It just helps to get his balance, again get him in the outside rein, just make sure he's listening to me. Just all these different exercises, it doesn't matter if you're not doing them 100% perfectly, they just really help to get your horse together, get your horse listening to you and thinking about other things. And I find I have a much better contact with Troy when I'm doing harder exercises, I'm doing other things, and then the contact just comes more naturally without me stressing about him not having a good contact. So towards the end we did some more leg yielding in the trot, and we did a bit of mixing the leg yielding up, so going from left to right and then right to left, all in the same line sort of thing. This again, it just really helps. I mean, it's so good for me as well because it really helps to get me thinking about where I need to be, changing of my aids really quickly so that I can tell Troy and make sure that we're going in the right place. So yeah, this is more of a challenge for me, I'd say, than Troy this time, because yeah, really made me think. And you know, when we get it, you know, he can cross over do some lovely steps. So overall I was really pleased with him actually. I hope it helped me doing a voiceover whilst you were watching and that it all made some sort of sense. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon for another vlog.